1953, the Corvette is launched. TV Guide is born. Dr. Jonas Salk announces discovery of the polio vaccine. The first James Bond novel is published. From Here to Eternity is the Oscar winner. Saran Wrap is created along with Cheese Whiz. Elvis is king, and Truman is president. 1953. Northeastern Pennsylvania is facing challenges. The coal industry has all but disappeared, creating massive unemployment overnight. That challenge was measured and met by the Committee of 100, a grassroots effort to bring economic growth to the area. Led by Bill Sword, this group literally hit the pavement, knocking on doors to raise funds to build the region's first industrial park and bring new companies and jobs to the area. Their first fundraising efforts, Operation Jobs, raised over $700,000 and culminated with the purchase of 750 acres, which became the Crestwood Industrial Park in Mountaintop, and home then to Foster Wheeler, RCA, Certainteed, and the Eberhard Faber Pencil Company. The Committee of 100 assisted with the location and expansion of 80 firms. However, the true story of economic growth in the region is not one of buildings and land. It is a story about people, individuals and groups that dreamed about the future, formulated an idea, found a way to make it real. It's a story not of chance, but of hard work and planning that takes us from reclaiming moonscapes to watching Simon and Garfunkel open their world tour in a building that symbolizes what we can achieve when all work toward a common goal.
There were a number of things that happened in the early, well, actually during the regime of President Eisenhower, but the development of the interstate, which for one thing connected us with a major new highway from New York to Chicago to San Francisco, and we were a major link on that road.
The result of this transportation network was that this area became uniquely accessible to major markets, enabling the Industrial Fund to attract some of the major industries in the country.
The best I can determine, Northeast Pennsylvania may have been the birthplace for community-based economic development, at least in Pennsylvania, if not in the country.
Funds had been raised. Infrastructure was in place. An economic development strategy of creating business parks, which began with the Committee of 100, was now in the hands of the Industrial Fund. And dedicated residents are focusing on making progress happen. That was the start. Over the next 50 years, that strategy created the Crestwood Industrial Park, Hanover Industrial Estates, the Corporate Center at East Mountain, Hanover Crossings, Highland Park, Public Square Commons, and the newest ventures, the renewal of downtown Wilkes-Barre, the Diamond Corporate Park, and the Innovation Center at Wilkes-Barre. Each park and project has had its own unique fit into the community's history and its future. The Crestwood Industrial Park, which opened with 750 acres in 1953, is now home to 22 companies and over 3,200 employees. A recent 300-acre expansion of the park created 7 new building sites and the potential for the creation of 1,000 additional new jobs. In the early 1980s, Wilkes-Barre, like many other areas of the country, was facing rising unemployment. A group of 4 community leaders who had met for breakfast at the Sterling Hotel every week since 1953 had an idea. Ed Schechter is a member of this breakfast club.
And among us, we decided that the best way to stimulate this was to have a study group find out about what motivates our community and how things go within that community. And we organized such a study group, and we organized a committee called the Committee for Economic Growth.
With commitment and determination, the CEG compiled a list of 90 companies from 10 high-growth industries, such as telecommunications, aerospace, and the food industry, to target for possible expansion into the greater Wilkes-Barre area. In 1987, the Greater Wilkes-Barre Chamber, CEG, and the Industrial Fund began working together under one roof. The Corporate Center at East Mountain was developed, providing campus-like settings for high-profile office and research and development facilities. This park serves 18 companies and over 3,500 employees and is still growing. Over the last 50 years, the Industrial Fund has not only been committed to creating business parks, but also to reclaiming land with the environmental scars of our anthracite history.
In fact, 60% of the 3,000 acres the Industrial Fund has developed is former abandoned mine land that required reclamation. So the Industrial Fund, I think, has pretty much laid the groundwork for the successes by virtue of its ability to take those risks on and to complete projects.
Two examples of this commitment to the environment are the Industrial Fund's Hanover Crossings and Highland Park projects. Each required years of study, the cooperation of state, county, and local governments, and literally the moving of mountains to create viable locations for businesses. Today, Hanover Crossings is home to Advance PCS and its 300 employees. While almost 30 years after Highland Park was conceived, this moonscape has become a thriving distribution center, restaurant, entertainment, and retail shopping area. The crown jewel, the Wachovia Arena at KC Plaza, opened to cheers and praise, becoming the home of the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins and the Pioneers. It's a destination for sports fans, concert goers, and conventioneers.
It's a success story that we talk about over and over in Harrisburg. Because I try to brag about northeastern Pennsylvania every time I have the opportunity. And I tell people, you want to see the best kept secret, travel to northeastern Pennsylvania.
Industry, education, economic development groups, government and nonprofit organizations and volunteers combining their expertise and focus to market a region on the verge of a renaissance. It is a renaissance rooted in what everyone agrees is the area's greatest asset of all.
I think it's the people in this area are the greatest asset. Their compassion, their consideration, their intelligence, their friendliness.
I think both objectively and subjectively, it continues to be the extraordinary work ethic of our people.
I think it's the character of this place. I think it's the sense of community. I think it's that certain something that's here in the Wilkes-Barre area that makes so many of us so willing to work so hard to try and make this place better.
I would say it's the hearts and souls of our people, the character, the family values, the work ethic.
I'd have to say it's the people and their profound sense of integrity and work ethic.
Our people are our greatest asset, and that's what we should build our strong foundation for the future with.
We have a very special and very unique capacity for producing leadership that is excellent and that gives us the ability to move in a forward direction.
Our people, definitely.
The greatest asset of this region, I think, are its people.
I think the greatest asset that we have here are the people.
Most important asset in this region is obviously the people, human resources.
The people and the community, they're great.
And then I think it's the people that really stand out. I mean, we have incredibly talented and committed and hardworking people that really make a difference.
Our people, and the talent, the energy, the ability to back into a wall and find a way to get over it, and just to continue to do it over and over again. You know, we are a terrific place, but our people are what make it a terrific place. You know, home isn't about a geography or about a mountainside or about a street. It's about the neighbors in the neighborhood, and we're a terrific neighborhood.